All right. Praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Just Face It show. And as promised, I bring you the hard topics, things to live by, things to help us grow by, the Just Face It show, where we face life victoriously. And today I wanted to tackle a topic that, especially in our culture, we don't talk about enough. We talk about it only when we absolutely have to, which means a tragedy has taken place or the Lord has called someone home peacefully, however it may be. But we as a culture do not like to talk about anything funeral because we just don't. We think it's an early death sentence. We think it's, don't speak that on me, don't talk, But I have my dear friend, and Chris and I go back, oh my God, to 78 for me. He was
80,
all,
okay.
Yeah, look, he don't want no 70 nothing in there. But we go way back, and he is a minister on board here, chaplain. One of our local funeral homes. Can I say the name? Okay. One of the local funeral homes has been an institution in the city of Detroit. At one point, this was the only Black funeral home in the city of Detroit, Swanson's funeral home. And we still say, may he rest in peace, as well as he was, he passed away, was it this year?
Yes.
So much has happened. In March, Mr. Swanson, O'Neal D. Swanson, everybody knew O'Neal D. Swanson, and he passed away this year as well. And so I am currently in his home. This is the first house that he built, and this is the original house. And any of you who are native Detroiters, we don't even have to say. You already know Mac and East Grand Boulevard, or East Grand Boulevard and Mac. Right. You say that, you already know that's where the landmark there is Swanson's funeral home. Swanson's funeral home has housed many of great legendary people. He has taken care of a lot of people, and we are definitely grateful. Many other funeral homes were birthed out of this one, if they'd ever give the credit, And so I am blessed today that my dear friend Christopher Elder, he said, I worked hard for that, Staffy. Elder Christopher Holden is here, and from time to time you will see his posts, Funeral 101, and he kind of just gives us some tidbits on some things not to do and how to make things perfect. Welcome to the show, and we are practicing a bit of social distancing here, so that's why we look a little funny. We got our masks on, and our families are. I am literally at the funeral home, and he's going to take me on a little tour, so you stay with me. First of all, Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. First of all, I am just blessed of God. Chris shared with me his experience with COVID-19. I had no idea that he went through that, but praise God, Chris has been through a whole lot himself. So we are just blessed that I'm not talking about him in the past tense, but God has victoriously blessed him, and he's here with me today. And Chris, I'm just going to jump right into it. Thank you so much again for this time. And he's right in the middle of working right now. And so we're not going to be on here very long. But I am, in case those of you don't know, a secret about me, I am totally infatuated with funeral homes and death and bombings. And we'll talk about that another time. But if I had another profession, that's what it would be. Somebody say, I love me some Elder Chris Arnetta. Chris, let's just jump to it. Let's just go from the beginning, because we talked about the art of customer service, which is what I'm in. And we don't really think of funerals as housing the art of customer service. Let's talk about the beginnings. When a person first comes in to a funeral, what happens? Or to plan?
Well, one of the things when your loved one does pass, there's always the going through picking the body up from either the home or from the hospital. So one of the hardest calls that a family has to make is the realization that their loved one has died. So they have to call the funeral home. And then what we here at the funeral home, we have a sheet called the first call. And the first call is a sheet with all of the information, where to pick the body up, and all of that. And we have to get very vital and personal information from the family. So again, that is a very sensitive time, a very sensitive time for families, because you have to, give the date of birth and where they died, and then what after they've done all of that, the funeral home dispatches a service. It's called a removal service to pick up the body.
Wow.
Then the family has to sign before they even do that, the family has to sign a release before they can even pick up the body. And then they bring the body to the funeral home.
Now, when you say pick up the body, are you talking about from the home, from the hospital?
Wherever it is, wherever it might be, funeral home, maybe home, or the morgue or the hospital.
Wow. So oftentimes you get the body in its original state, how they died. They haven't been prepped.
No, that's it. They're picking up the body.
Wow.
So even those that are working that removal service, and see what people don't realize, there is a reverence, there is a, I won't say sacredness, but there is a respectability that you must have in getting the bodies, and our people that we use, they go in uniform. You don't want Joe Blow coming in with his pants sagging, baseball cap to the side to pick up your loved one. That is a very emotional time. I have not done removals. That's not the part of the ministry I want to be a part of. But I have been there when family members, when they come to remove the loved one, especially in a home, it is catastrophic.
Wow.
Sometimes the family don't want you to touch the body. They go through an emotional part, and many of you probably that are listening may have experienced that. Sometimes the families become very emotional, and so you have to learn how to be able to deal with all of that.
Yeah.
But the job has to be. The funeral business is a very respected. It's a very respected and an honorable occupation.
Wow. It's final.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the finality of a mother, father,
babies, children, all of that.
I don't know. Now that I don't know if I can handle.
Yeah.
The child aspect.
And let me say this, that the funeral industry and business is not for everybody. It's not. Many days I leave here emotionally drained.
Wow. How are you able to separate? I mean,
what I do is when I come home from work, I have to be by myself for about an hour to regroup. To regroup. You just have to. That's how I know I was called to do this. God just gives you a word. He just gives you the comfort. But it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So you have to, and I suggest to people, anytime you're working in the funeral business and you have the attitude like when you're certain, just say you're hired to be a driver, and you got to pick up your kid, or you got a shopping trip, or you got something else to do that day. My suggestion, you don't need to work that day, because all of your focus, everything should be on that family.
Wow.
You don't know what's going to happen. One of the worst things that we can do is when we're having a family that they feel rushed. They feel rushed. Let me let you all know something. This is the last time they're going to see their loved one.
Wow.
This is the last time they're going to have any type of contact. This is the family's final. And I always tell people, you got a day coming. You got a day when you're going to sit on that front row. I'm going to see how you're going to feel then.
Wow.
So that's one of the things I always make myself to be aware of when I'm ministering to families. Holden, you got a day coming.
Yeah.
You got family members. You're going to sit on this row too. And you don't want to be rushed. You don't want, yes, there is a time limit, but there is a way that we handle things.
Now, what kind of training, or is there any kind of training that comes with your profession?
It should be. I have to say it was on the job training.
Okay.
I often tell people all the time, pastors and bishops and stuff like that, those of you that are ordaining new elders and ministers, you need to be in contact with a funeral home. They need to spend at least a couple of hours a week, especially ministers, so you'll know how to minister to a family. You know what to say, what not to say, what to do, and what not to do. I'll give you a perfect example. We moved into the tech age, and that's when everybody was putting their Bible on the iPad and stuff like that. I went out and bought me an iPad and everything. I was sitting on the roster. I was paging through my iPad, but it was the Bible, getting my scriptures ready. A lady called in on me, and this is what she said. All through my husband's funeral, all he did was look at that iPad.
Wow.
She didn't know that was a Bible.
Yeah.
She was offended. And I vowed from that day, I'm going to do like the old school. I'm going to have me a paper Bible.
A good paper Bible.
A good old paper Bible. On standby. Because people are already at an emotional level. They look at people.
Everything is something.
Yeah. People handle grief differently. I've been cussed out.
Wow.
I've almost been swung on.
Oh, wow.
If you read my funeral 101, about a month ago, a lady had pulled a knife, said, "You better not close that casket."
Oh, wow.
Behind my back. I mean, you can't be offended because everybody handles death differently. So, and I say all that, pastors, we need to train your lay leaders how to lead a funeral, what to say, what not to say, how to look, what not to look, your apparel, your everything. I can't get a mohawk hairstyle and I'm a chapel minister.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. There's just certain things. This is a very respectable. It's an honorable of lifestyle, and people. You are the last thing that they see.
Now, I heard you say you almost attacked. How do you change and transition that person from being in that space? Because eventually you had to close that casket.
Oh, it was during the close. And see what you do in situations like that. You go to the family, say, "Come here, I need you to come and close."
Okay.
When they do it, it kind of eases the burden a little bit. You have to be quick on your feet and be smart. Sometimes families become so emotional, they get in the casket, they don't want you to touch it. So what you do is you get one of their family members, say, "Come on, come up here with it." Sometimes we ask the family, "Come help us close." It helps. Okay. So you got to be able to be smart. The wisdom of God.
Absolutely. Now, I love what you said, the fact of training our lay leaders. I've never seen anybody train. We just go by the fact that we've been to 1,000 funerals. We know
you need to know what scripture
to read John 14.
You don't need to go to the scripture. I'm turning your Bible to Acts chapter 1 verse 8. But ye shall. That ain't the scripture, folks. Comfort. You're here to comfort. Now, if that was their favorite scripture, that's something different. But many ministers and lately, we come up here like y'all finna do the last day tent revival.
Yeah.
Now I will admit, sometimes the power do come. It came up in here the other day. And I had to say, whoa, I got a little saying, whoa, horsey. I had to pull myself in. There are things that you do. I did a service the other day where the family requested me to lay hands on, not the deceased, but the husband that lost his wife. Well, I knew I couldn't really do that. So you got to be wise. So when they was leaving out, I said, "God bless you." Now, the old church mother back rub. I was praying and laying hands right then. So there are a lot of things. There are different denominations that come in here, different cultures. That come. So you got to be able to flow.
Okay.
And pastors need to teach their missionaries, those that work with them in ministry, how to be able to flow. You cannot work in this business and be so easily offended.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, tell us the difference between you having to preach a saved funeral, a person that knew the Lord, versus the thug that was shot, that was killed, and
Again,
you come in.
let me say this. I'm learning this principle to be spirit led, shown up. My thing is now, Holy Spirit, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost, show me what to do. I don't preach about the day. I preach life and strength to the family. My message is usually entangled or in what you gonna do after we leave. I try to point them that there is a reason and a purpose for us being here today. I just did a young man's funeral not too long ago who was shot. I don't even deal with all that. That ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
But I minister to those that are left behind. I don't put nobody in heaven.
Yeah.
I don't put nobody here. Now, when you know, sometimes there are incidents when the family, my mother was, she loved the Lord and she loved it. We know she died and got off.
Yeah.
And then you can bring out the tamarines and then we can show them. But I just on the safe side,
yeah,
I bring messages of hope and life and encouragement. I don't put nobody in hell. I don't talk about doctrine and things. I'm not here talking about you got to go down in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
You got
yeah.
Because let me share this with you. They're not really listening anyway.
Yeah.
As long as that casket is open, they're good. As long as they see that casket, they're focusing on that. So you don't have to come in here and do a John the Baptist revival. You up a good 15 minutes?
Yeah.
You good.
Wow. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the things that need to happen when a person comes. Mom or somebody just passed away. What kinds of things do I need to have in my possession when I come? Because this is still a business. It's still a financial need,
Right.
a obligation that needs to be met. What should people be prepared for?
You need to have all of your insurance policies. You need to have those that are you need to have the names, the records. You need to know the occupation of the person that passed. Any paperwork, bring it all. Those are the things that you need to start off with. And then we have a capable staff. Your funeral consultant that will let you know. We're not going to leave you out in the dark, but we got a capable staff that will let you know how to handle and what to do during those times. But you come in with your basic information. Name, date of birth. You gotta know when mom was born.
Yeah.
You gotta know mom's maiden name. Fathers, you gotta know all of those things like that. And when we do understand that sometimes you don't know, we give you time to try to get those things together. Right.
Now, what happens, and this may be a hard question, but I've been in a predicament like this where the person just does not have the funds. Are there alternatives? Are there things that they can do?
Right.
And I know in our culture, pretty much we really didn't do cremations years ago, and I know that has become a more affordable way. Right. What are some things that we can do in the event that you just don't have the money?
Well, you need to know that the social services gives out a certain amount of money. You go apply, and that will be a help. You get a certain amount from social service that will help go towards the burial when you just don't have anything. And then when you come, be honest. Gather your loved ones and your pastors and friends and sorority and fraternity brothers, and just be honest. I ain't got it. I need some help.
Yeah.
So the funeral home does not have a secret stash where they help you. They don't have it like that.
Yeah.
But we do direct you to different agencies that, especially social service, when we already know that, that can help you with you in the time of burial.
Now, have you ever had to postpone a funeral because the finances were not there, things of that nature?
Yes, we got some situations like that right now. Yes.
Yeah.
we've even had, do not suggest it, but I've even taken offerings.
Wow.
I've been asked by the family and directed by the funeral director because they had to have the money. And I'm telling you, when they had no choir singing, what shall I render or nothing.
Yeah.
But because of the love of the families, the love of the people, we were able to have and the funeral home don't keep none of that money. We goes directly to the family.
Wow.
And for their need, pay for that bill. It has to be paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be paid.
It has to be done. Now talk about insurance and wills and things of that. I don't know if that's outside of what you do.
Yeah, it's outside, but I would say this: every family needs to have some type of will. You need to have so we'll know what to do, and you'll know what to do.
And it doesn't have to be formal. It could be, I wrote this down.
We as Black people get it written down. So when it come up, well, my mama wanted a gray skirt on. You got on it. No, Mama wrote down. She wrote down where her policies were. She wrote down, have that stuff already ready.
What has been the most confusion you've seen or has caused the most confusion amongst families? What would you say? What they wear, how they hair?
The most confusion is with a family. He had a wife and a girlfriend.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, my.
You know.
That's real.
And they want to know who going to get what.
And that transacts right here?
Oh, you would not believe some of the things that happen.
Wow.
Even at the funeral. You know, everybody want to know what they going to get.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Whose name, come to find out, we've been in situations where in the policies, the wife thought, and it wasn't her thought. She didn't get what she thought she was going to get.
Yeah.
It was not in her name.
Oh, wow.
So those things like that, you need to know. You need to have that together so you'll know what's going on.
And you've got to be able, as the director here and chaplain here, you still got to be able to know how to maneuver even amongst the chaos that's happening amongst the family.
I got a saying that everybody say from me, stay in your lane. My lane is ministry, do the front desk. I don't get into insurance. I don't get into none of that. I let the directors do all that. That ain't none of my business. If everybody was stay in their lane, it'd go well.
Wow.
I don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
Well, you ought to, you just a chaplain. Be quiet.
Stay
in your lane.
Stay where you and you can walk away from here.
Yeah.
With some peace. Now tell us some things, because you do a little funeral 101. And
you know what? I'm going to end up probably writing the book. These are just some humorous things.
Because the funny things do happen at
funny things.
At
you know,
funerals.
we in this thing now. You know, back in the day when I was coming up, we wore suits and ties to a funeral. It was a formal.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
It's a formal service, but you know, we got ladies and we got men coming in, ripped jeans, t-shirt. Everybody on a t-shirt kick.
Yeah.
Ladies, just make sure what you wear fits. Okay, you got boobs hanging out, boobs and booty.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I know
It's still a respectable
place, right?
place, and it's a respectable service.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot.
And you need to just honor the family. You know,
Yeah.
you just need to honor the family. So it's, you know, hey, what you do is what you do, but it is a place of respectability.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now, and this might some of the stuff I'm going to ask Elder Chris might seem minute because we've all been there. But talk about why does the funeral directors close the casket like right before the message?
Let me tell you, it's going to be hard whether you close it in the beginning. It's going to be hard whether you close it at the end. It's really the preference of the family.
Okay.
And most churches do not allow And the reason why they close it before the eulogy is because most of the time people are gazing at the body, they're not listening. So it kind of helps with the attention. But we try to recommend closing it as soon as you get in because it's going to help you.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
It does provide a sense of peace once it is closed. The casket is closed. I've noticed that. I've been to too many funerals, and I've noticed that right after it's,
Right.
Now, what do you think about these long, drawn-out funerals? Do you think it's the family is just trying to prolong the time that they spend with the deceased, or?
Well, I think it's more or less they're trying to do everything they think the loved one would like.
Okay.
It's a family's choice. Sometimes you need to go back to do what they used to do back in the day. You need to have maybe a memorial service prior on if your loved one's going to be buried on a Saturday, and they were active in social gatherings in church. Do a memorial Friday night, so you can cut down your funeral service. You got a lot of people want to let them make remarks at the family hour.
Yeah.
At the church, that's at the church or whatever. The funeral, that's the family's time. So that's what. Sometimes, because who the person was, there is no other way to really shorten it.
Yeah.
They just have to go with the flow. Yeah.
Now, with the COVID-19 and the tons of deaths, I know every funeral home has probably been inundated with funerals, with the influx of people dying so rapidly. Tell us what has changed in the business and in the art of having funerals since March.
Social distancing. They first started off with maybe only 5 people. There was no funerals in the chapel. The families would do just a view and go straight to the cemetery.
Wow.
There was no
matter who you were.
Didn't matter who you were. Because the uncertainty of the COVID and what was going on, social distancing, the limit now in the funeral home, they do let you have between 25 to 50 people.
Okay.
You must, this is even before our governor, you must have a mask. You must have, and even in the chapel, we still practice space between the seating. So it's really, there's no congregating in the hallway. After the funeral, you must go to your car. So there's a lot of things that have changed.
Wow.
Since this COVID.
And what about the flowers? I understand you couldn't.
Well, I don't know anything. I never heard anything about the flowers.
Okay.
People still giving doing flowers.
I know my biological dad passed, and at that time you couldn't take flowers to the cemetery. I don't know if that was a cemetery problem or what have you. Well, you were going to take me on a tour. Okay. I do want you all to, so we're going to be moving around a little bit. I'm going to be mobile with the camera a little bit. I am officially at Swanson's Funeral Home right here on East Grand Boulevard and Mac. And Minister Chris, Elder Chris, has just kind of talked to me a little bit about things to do. And also, know the person's real name, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up, too.
We don't always have, Booski, unless the family puts that on say he was also known as Red Dog.
Yeah.
But, it's good not only to know the name, but what day the service. So many people come up here, you say, "Ma'am, that service was yesterday."
Wow.
Or it's, so why drive all the way from your home and not know who the person is?
Wow.
Not know when the funeral is. I mean, I do understand the time. There's nothing wrong with making a phone call before you leave out, or call somebody that you know they may have information about the family, about the service. Yeah.
Now, have you all had to get involved when family members say, "Make sure he don't get in here"? Or
we had a service. That happens a lot. The family 2 weeks ago, even during this COVID, the family had a guest list.
Huh.
And I saw it was, oh no, your name is not on. They were turned away.
Wow.
You cannot come in. Yes, we do have certain services where certain people are allowed. Sorry, you can't. And know this, that this is just general information. You cannot come view a body if the family has not viewed first.
Yeah.
So please don't get offended when the funeral directors or people who work for you say you cannot view because the family has not viewed. And the first thing they say, well, I got to go to work. Honey, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
We're liable for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're liable for that. You cannot view a loved one.
So how protective are you all of the deceased?
What do you mean?
I mean, in terms of people like what we just kind of witnessed, coming in wanting to see the body, wanting to play in their hair, wanting to change their clothes and their...
Well, that's, that's the whole purpose of the first view.
Okay.
For the family to come in, to make sure everything is the way they want to perceive it to be, the look, the clothes, and all of that. So that's the purpose of that. We don't very seldom do we get people from the outside coming in because let's be honest, most folks scared of dead folks, so they ain't gonna do nothing. So they bring stuff, and we just say, well, we have to get a check with the funeral home first or the family before you can do this. Do that.
That just opened by itself.
Somebody in there.
Well, we talking about scary stuff. It's the curtain over here, and I promise it just opened by itself. It could be me. It was me, but he said, "No, girl, somebody over there." I looked because I said, "Hey, that just opened by itself." Okay, we're gonna go. I want you to stay with me. If you got any questions on here, you can type your questions. We're personal like that today, and Chris is getting ready to take us just on the.
If I can take y'all to
a short.
Show you just
And I'm sure everybody on here has been, but maybe you've never seen, because what this show is all about is when a family comes in and the things that they have to see and decide and what they have to do. So this is
and this is a funeral home, and a funeral home has what? Bodies.
Yeah.
We just happen to be one of the popular funeral homes in the city, and a lot of the Lord has given Mr. Swanson a favor. We do get a lot of bodies. Sometimes all these rooms are filled to capacity.
Wow.
So when you come to a funeral home, get ready to see what?
Bodies. Yeah.
That's just the thing.
That's what you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we go?
Yeah, we're
on this tour.
We're gonna ride.
Okay.
Well, you can pan this room. Don't pan that over there, but
yeah. Is this?
This is one room.
This is a holding room.
Yeah, this is a viewing room right here.
Oh, okay. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna
where
go.
we are right now.
I'm gonna go
this
mobile.
This was the first part of.
I gotta keep it like this. Okay.
This was the first part.
Yeah.
This was the first. These were the first rooms in the beginning of Swanson Funeral.
Really?
Yes.
So this is we're sitting in an actual.
That door right there.
Room. Okay.
That's the elevator right there.
Oh, okay.
They bring the body.
I want to say they just brought somebody in because
you probably heard them.
I heard them there. So I want you all to stay with me. I'm gonna do my best to keep the camera because I'm mobile. I'll be mobile, so we'll do our best. So we're gonna go and show you what the family would see in its beginnings here. So
these two rooms. Yeah.
Okay.
These were like the first.
The first.
Yeah,
Okay.
These were the first room. This they used to bring the body in.
Let me see if I could.
The first prep room was on.
Okay.
First prep room was on this side of the building. And they would take the bodies and bring them through this doorway to go downstairs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
go down the hall because I think he got some.
So we're right during business hours. Everybody, so there are flowers coming in. Deceased are coming in. So I'm going to. And this is my dear sister. What's your name?
Maryland. I'm Maryland.
Maryland's been with Swanson's about 11 years, she told me. And she handles a great deal of the paperwork and things of that nature. So we're very live, everybody. So I am totally going to respect people that are coming in, but we are going to take you to, we're just letting you see what the beginnings.
What time is it?
Let me turn the camera here.
Okay. It's on. She hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay, and so this is, okay, so you see florists have been coming in here. I've been here about an hour and some before we even started. And they have a great rapport with many of the florists in the neighborhood. You guys see, this is where we are. And I hope this is not freaking anybody out, but I bring you the hard stories so that you won't know. But this is 806 East Grand Boulevard. And I wanted you to see. Okay. Let me hold the door.
We got a lot of families coming in, so I can't really take you to any room. We're just gonna walk down the hall.
Okay, we're just gonna walk. A bunch of families are coming. They're doing first viewings. And so this would be where they would check in here, place here. And so those are, I didn't put them on camera here. But, and of course, everybody always hates to go to the lower level of funeral homes, but it's the business offices down, and the cremations and things take place down there.
No, they don't take. We don't cremations.
I mean, not cremations, but the embalmings and
Yeah, that's on the other.
on the other side. Okay.
That door, I'll show you the door.
Okay. Okay. And so this gentleman right here, is he one that would pick up?
Removal. Yeah.
Okay. That gentleman that was in the all white that just walked by me, he's the one that literally goes to the homes or
Wherever.
hospital, wherever, and pick up bodies. So the family you saw just walk by, they're here for first viewing. They're viewing. And this is very different. If you could see,
We never had to.
never had to do that.
But this probably be up for now.
But this is probably forever.
Forever, right?
Yeah. Wow. So much has changed. So much has changed. So I'm gonna just follow Chris here. And this is one of the chapel's family is inside there. I'm not gonna show his family in there. Yeah.
This is another chapel.
So funeral home is pretty full today. So I'm not going to show.
The flower room. They used to bring the flowers in the center here.
Okay, this is the flower room.
Okay. This right here is our elevator.
Okay.
This is where the bodies come up.
Okay, this is this is the elevator where the caskets and the bodies would come up and you'd roll them to one of the rooms. Okay. Okay. And then this is where we are officially. That's where we are. Swanson's funeral home. This is something that nobody. Are we gonna be able to see the casket room? Probably not. Okay.
Something we can do. We do another.
We'll do another. Okay.
Have a good day.
We'll have to. It's a lot of traffic. It's very busy, which we call ourselves picking a day that was not, but it turned out that it's very busy. So people are. We're gonna go out. I want to show you. You've seen some of the hearse before. Now let me ask you: do we get a chance? I'm sorry. Do you pick the hearse that you want your?
Their family sometimes requested, but yeah,
Okay.
they do request.
But those of you that remember, I believe Aretha was in this one.
This one right
Yeah, this is the one that Aretha. I'll just walk over to it. And so my understanding. Yeah. Hey. How are you? And so I'm doing my live show, Rod. That's okay. But you know, you would pick, and I know that this might seem morbid, but these are things that you don't know when it may happen for you, and so we're just trying to give you some. They want to know: does the first viewing take place outside the chapel?
No, it's usually because there may be some cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some things that need to be done. So everything for the first viewing is done here, so our technicians can take care of it.
Okay, that's a great question, Laura. So it's done right on the spot here, so that their family can take care. Oh, you're gonna.
There's another.
Another.
The black, right.
Okay. I want to show you. These hearse are well back in the 60s. Most requested based on your loved one. They request these. And I know we've been to funerals over and over. A lot of us have been to a lot of funerals. And so some of the stuff I'm telling you is like, whatever. Some of us don't want to face this moment at all. I certainly never want to have to face it ever. I don't ever want to have to. I just don't. And I'm one of those black girls that don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, I'm one of them. And so I'm gonna show you where the body. Okay, when the body comes in.
The hearse or the removal service backs in, and that's the door that they go in to go downstairs.
Oh, okay. So this is where, when the body first gets to the funeral home, the van or the hearse will back right into here. And so this is begins the final resting place of the deceased, is this door right here. We're going to do another segment when it's not so busy, maybe after hours where we could show, but it's quite busy today. I think it was about 3 or 4.
We're going to close this segment out for me.
Okay.
And I thank you so much that, we want to be able to do informational things. There's a lot of things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And we need clarity on it.
Mm-hmm.
Death is a part of life.
Yeah.
But this. Jesus said, I come that you might have life.
Yeah. And that life. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
I would have been able to do more, but we are so busy right now.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come back.
Absolutely.
One of the directors to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And all of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go get my stuff. Everybody. Chris is at work.
Yeah. Come on, I need to get a check.
Right. He is at work. And so I hope that we shared something with you all today. I'm going to go back and gather my things and respect. I'll just keep it on me because there are many.
If you have questions, to bring the questions so we can try to answer those questions.
Okay. If you have questions.
There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of things.
Exactly. Which we didn't get a chance to get to.
Dispel those myths.
Exactly. So the next time we come back on,
Since
we'll.
Ron, you get Ron to say something too.
Yeah, is he still here? Oh. Come talk to me. When I'm just talking about, maybe he can help us dispel some of the myths.
Yeah.
This is my dear friend, Rod. What
do we do?
Come here. You're going to interview with me for a minute because Chris got to get back to work.
Lord have mercy.
And we're practicing social distance. Tell us, what is your job here or with the funeral business?
Oh, I do a range of things, from arrangements up in the business office.
Why are you so tall?
I don't know why I'm so tall.
When did you get that tall? Okay, go
Is that
ahead.
better?
Yeah. You all right? You can
A
stand.
range of things.
I tell you what, you stand over there and I'll point
Oh,
in that way. Okay, what do you do? Tell us what you
an
do.
array of things. Seeing families, a lot of administrative parts. Jack of all trades.
Okay. And dispel one of the myths that I could think of off the top of my head is that funeral homes typically want to rip people off.
That's not true statement.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but we're compassionate and we're not to just take everyone's money.
Okay. Now, is it it's an expensive room and a cheap room in terms of...
They're all the same.
Okay, these are myths, I'm telling you.
These are all the same rooms.
Okay.
I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, I've heard that, you know.
Cheap room and an expensive.
You know, you put the
There's
cheap
inexpensive
casket.
and then there's expensive caskets.
Okay.
But the cheap room.
It's like
It's like
anything.
buying a car.
Okay. And you kind of direct people they kind of tell you what they're looking for and you show them
Exactly.
what they're...
From the beginning to the end.
Okay.
From the first call to the final rescue place.
Okay. All that. So you deal with cemetery stuff too?
When we make a connection with the cemetery.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to come back for part 2, everybody. Another day, but it's very, very busy here. Many families are coming in, and we call ourselves picking a day when this wasn't happening, but it is. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Rod. I just put him on the spot.
The ride, especially about the insurance, he can help you with that.
Oh yeah, we'll get him on that. On
What families need to know.
Rod. On no, we were just saying it's quite busy here. What families need to know. Yeah, I'm going to end this segment here because people are coming in for first views. And so,
Just show them how crowded the hallway is.
yeah, I'm just going to show you right now. This thing is real, those of you who don't think. Well, you know. I think you know. But it's very real. And doing things properly and in order for your loved one is super important. Okay? I'm going to wrap up my segment here. I hope that we shared a little something with you today. Bring this down for a minute. I hope that we shared a little something with you all today that would ease and make you sit down and think. I suggest that you write your vision and make it plain. Because a whole lot of what Chris talked about earlier was the discrepancies when it comes time to the final arrangements. What did Big Mama want? What didn't she want? And it's a lot of siblings. It's a lot of sisters and brothers. It's a lot of family members. And write it down. I know we don't like to talk about this, and we don't like to deal with this part of life. I might be number one on that list, but I wanted to share the hard stories with you. And next time we'll come back after hours, and he'll be able to take me to where the embalming room is, and where the caskets are, and things of that nature, things that people really, really want to see and really want to know, and things that you need to do. And I forgot Rod was a part, and that this is what he did for a living as well. But we'll get him. I will say to you all, get you a good insurance policy. It don't have to be that good, but enough to take care of what's needed for you. Because you want to leave a legacy, and you want to be able to leave something for your family. Because the other side of that is after, I'm going to sit here for 30 seconds, after the funeral is over, I'm going to sit this right here for a second. After the services are over, you still got to live. You still have to live. The family still has to live. And so I would say, you may not need the $10,000 casket, and the person only left $12,000. You might not need tons of flowers, and you watch flowers just go to waste. Give that money to the family. it's just time for us to think differently. It's time for us to be wise in these kinds of decisions. And like you said, it's a very sensitive time for family, and you want to send your loved one out of here the best. But keep this in mind, that they're not there anymore, and you still have to live. You still have to live. Nobody passed away. This is an interview. Nobody has passed away that I know. This is just an interview. I interviewed Elder Christopher Holden, just to give you some information. Nobody has passed away, Henry. Nobody. Okay, but I'm just here to give you information. Okay, and to think wisely. This COVID thing has changed the whole art of how we do funerals now. As Chris stated, they just opened it up where you can do the viewing and you can have a service now. But I know when it first happened, I had a cousin to pass away, and only his immediate family was allowed and a few friends, and everybody was spaced out. It was just not a good time because she was not even able to be with her child before the passing. So it's just time to start thinking wiser on things that are final, is what I'll say. And I'll leave it right there. And we'll come back with a part 2 and just share, because right now families are coming in and I hear crying, and it's just not a good time. But somebody has to do this kind of interview. Rock, they didn't say, but he's, this is his house, so they did not say when they were going to do that. I did ask that question, and when they do, they will, is kind of what they said. But he built this house years ago, so he could stay here long as he likes, for sure. But there was no planned, as far as we know. There was nothing planned. Okay? I hope I shared something here on the Just Face It Show with your girl, on location right here at Swanson Funeral Home. And I pray that I'm actually sitting in a holding room where the bodies would be. I have absolutely no fear of this kind of thing. Again, a little secret about me: if I was not into all the other stuff that I do, this would be probably my profession. And I still may try to go into something like this while. We'll see. I've had an opportunity to go to an embalming and see the casket room at another funeral home. I've been where people have passed away right there on the spot, and I've assisted. I don't know. I'm just not afraid of that, of it at all. Okay. I pray. I'm speaking very low because funerals and first viewings are happening today. So that's got to be tough when you have to come and see your family member, and you pray that they look at least half like they should look. Everybody wants that normalcy, and you want your loved one to look like they did when they were alive. But sometimes the color has changed. Sometimes the hair is different. All kinds of things. Okay, so you have to be prepared for all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm no expert here. It's just based on just some things. Okay, we will come back with part 2. Part 2, we will go downstairs and see the casket room and even where they embalm and things of that nature. We won't show that, but you will see how it's processed. And I hope it doesn't freak you out, but these are things that that I just think you need to know. And I know YouTube has a bunch of videos on it and stuff, but I wanted to present and let you see. Okay, I love you guys. Listen, stay safe. Chris even gave his COVID-19 testimony to me. I had 3 the other day. Talked about it. This thing is real. So no, part 2 won't be today because it's really busy, very busy today. I'll let you know when we can do that. We got to kind of do it on an off time, if there is ever an off time, because as stated, so many people are passing away. The funeral homes are super busy. So I will let you know, Rando, when that part 2 will come. And it'll probably be after hours, like at night or something, when there is no traffic. And I'll have a one-on-one with the embalmer and with the person that shows you the caskets and things of that nature. Okay? I know this is a tough show, and if you've lost a loved one, I just pray that the joy of the Lord continue to be your strength. Okay? Friday, you don't want to miss Friday's show. Friday's show will be at 8 o'clock p.m. I know I come on all kind of times, but you've been sticking with me. Friday, you do not want to miss. I have an ex-transgender drug dealer who will be on, who is on fire for God, totally delivered. And the first question people ask me is, are they really delivered? I've never met her before. We've talked over the phone, saw her do other interviews, and her before and after, I'm going to post the flyer later today. Her before and after is incredible, and she is totally sold out for God. She's even written a manual to help us on how to deal with people that want to come out of that. There are some people that want to come out of homosexuality. That's another tough subject. But Friday, I'm going to post a flyer at 8 o'clock p.m. She will be my guest, Nicole Collins. She will be my guest. And her mother will be on. Her mother's going to talk about, from the perspective of her holding on to her child through Jesus Christ, how she stayed on her knees 20 years. Her daughter lived as a boy. And when you see the before and after, you're going to be amazed. And there is no residue. And one thing she preaches is that when God delivers you, there is no residue. I love that. Okay? So on Friday, I'll be posting. Stay with me. Go to my YouTube page and subscribe. I'm building it up. Some things YouTube won't let me do unless I have X amount of people. Okay? Till we meet again, I love you guys and stay safe. Listen, wear your masks. You hear me? Wear them. Stop trying to figure it out. Just do what they say. And wear your mask. Because I don't want the next time I see you to be here. Okay? Till we meet again, love you guys and be encouraged.